crochet crowd. Inspire, create, and celebrate. Let's learn something today.
Welcome to the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host, Mikey. Today is the Crochet Firework Throw, and in this particular one, we're using a new color scheme by Red Heart Super Saver Bitty Stripes, and it is called Firework, so like explosion of color. In this particular tutorial today, we're going to go through the ins and outs to be able to make this. I'm going to be making a smaller swatch with you on camera, and I'm going to be switching out my yarn, still continue with Red Heart Super Saver Bitty Stripes, but in the color called Galaxy. I only have 2 balls of the firework on hand, and I have a plan for that for another project. So I'm going to be using white for this. So this is Red Heart Super Saver White, but what I'm going to use is Red Heart Super Saver Bitty Stripes called Moonbeam. So you'll see a differential of colors. If you would like to match the size, you'll need 3 balls of firework and 2 balls of white here, Red Heart Super Saver. So we're going to be able to do this, and when we're doing this, the center of the blanket is going to be made up of these squares. And so we're not going to be attaching those squares together. So we're going to be just getting things done. And so it'll be making all the squares. You can find the diagram, just see the video description. You can have access to it. And what we're going to do is once we have all the squares done, we're just going to pass all the way across and attach them. And the biggest secret is to make sure that the right side is facing up. So if you don't know what that is, you may want to mark that as you're hitting it. So you're going to notice is at the center of the blanket, it looks like there's a color scheme going on. So what they've done is that they've done 9 of these squares, but these colors, because they're coming out of the ball uniquely, they've just kind of lined them up to what they thought was best. So as you're working your way through the colors, you're going to notice that it's going to change on its own as well. And of course, if you want to control that more, you're going to have extra yarn on hand with the extra balls that you'll have, and you can use bits of those if you would like to. We're going to be doing the ins and outs of today's pattern, and we're going to be getting ourselves started in just a moment. You'll use a 5.5 millimeter size eye crochet hook and whatever yarn colors that you decided for yourself. Our first step is to make the squares. They are just 3 rounds only, so 1, 2, and 3. I will take you through making them. We're going to use a different color for round number 1. So it's going to be color B, which is the Red Heart Super Saver White. And then the other 2 colors are going to be the firework color. So we're just going to do that. So we need 9 of those on camera. Today in my sample, there's only going to be 3. But if you want to change the size of this, you just have to add more squares because it'll work out in the multiples if you would like to do that. So maybe if you want to make a larger or a smaller size, just change the number of squares that you'll use. Let's begin. My studio door is open today, so you will hear natural birds and possibly dogs barking in today's tutorial. Create a slip knot to begin with the white color. In my case, it's Red Heart Super Saver Bitty Stripes in Moonbeam, and you are going to chain a total of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and just slip stitch to the beginning chain to form a ring. So just going on in, yarning over, pulling it through and through, and the center is a circle just like this. When we go to crochet round number 1, we're going to trap this loose end into position so we don't have to sew that in later. Let's begin round number 1 using the same color. To begin round number 1, we're going to chain a total of 6. That will count as 1 double crochet and a chain 3 space. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And in the center of the chain, I need you to place in 3 double crochet. So just open it up so you see the circle and place 3 double crochet. So wrap the hook and in to the center, trap that loose end around the ring so it gets stuck underneath the stitches. And we're going to do 3 double crochet. To turn the corner on these squares, you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Coming into the center of the ring, still trapping that loose end, 3 more double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. Chain 3 to turn, so 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochet into the ring. If you decide that you don't want to bury your loose end that way, you'll have to use a tapestry needle to weave it in later. You decide what works for you. Okay, we got our final corner to do now. So we're going to do our chain 3. And so the chain 6 that we started with is already, the first 3 chains are a double crochet, the other 3 chains are a chain 3 space. So you're only going to put in 2 double crochets in now because the 3rd double crochet is already there. And now just kind of move things around. You're going to slip stitch this to the 3rd chain up. So 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch. Go right into the chain, don't go into a space. Okay, and that's your beginning. So what we need to do for this particular concept is that we are going to then just fasten this off, and I'll show you how to weave in the end so you don't have to waste a lot of yarn, just enough to get it through a tapestry needle, and just pull it on through. Turn it over to the back of your square. You can cut out the beginning if you went over it. If you didn't, you'll have to use a tapestry needle. And then the other one here, we want to put through a tapestry needle here, the other tail. What I recommend when you go to weave this in, to get it stuck underneath the stitches even better, just weave this in through the chain 3 chain. So the next row will kind of hold that also in a position. The trick to this is make sure you just don't go between strands, but go between plies as well. So don't be afraid to kind of weave it in and separate plies. So I'm going back, this is the 2nd time, and then going back a 3rd time. Make sure when you're weaving it in, you don't pull it so tight that it's changing the shape of your square. And every time we have a loose end on this particular concept, I want you to do the same, so I won't be showing you how to weave this in any further in today's tutorial. Okay, so there's your beginning, round number 1. What I would do for tutorial purposes, or if you weren't watching me, I should say, I would do all 9 of the beginning with the same color and then move on to rounds number 2 and 3 with the other color. But you can decide what works for you. That's called assembly line crochet, where you don't have to keep looking back and starting fresh. Every time you just create all the steps first, all 9, and then come back and do 2 and 3 with the same ball. But that's up to you. Let me know in the comments what you do. Okay, rounds 2 and 3 are going to be the same color, and as I promised you, my coloring is called Red Heart Super Saver Bitty Stripes, and the color called Galaxy. So I'm going to start with the side that I finished. Okay, so this was the starting, and I'm just going to go right into a corner and attach it with a slip stitch. Because it's just going around the space, you can move it if it's not in the right location. You can do that later if you want to. So once you've got it attached, you are going to chain 6 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And again, this is a double crochet and a chain 3 space. In the same corner, I want you to place in, and I'm just going to move it around so I can pull it. I'm going to place in 3 double crochets into the same corner. And I'll finish this corner when I come back around. So we're just doing a portion of it when we start. I'm going right up over top of the straggler at the same time, but I will use a tapestry needle to hide in the loose end later. To get to the next corner, you need to chain 1. And you're going to go right into your corner, 3 double crochet to begin. And this yarn transitions in colors on its own, and it makes this yarn quite fun to play with, especially if you have ADHD like me. So you're going to chain 3 to turn, and 3 more double crochet into that corner. Okay, so to get to this corner, we got to chain 1 first, and then do another corner. So 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. Now we need to get to the next corner, chain 1, and then do another corner. 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. All corners in this beginning phase of doing the squares are always going to be the same. That helps you to know that for the next round. Okay, so we're almost done. So you're going to chain 1 to jump, and you've already got 1 double crochet in here because the first part of that chain 6, the chain 3 is a double crochet. So you're only going to put in 2 double crochet in there. And you are going to join it to the 3rd chain up. So just count it out. So you can do either way. So you can do 1, 2, 3. There's the there. So it would be this one, or 1, 2, 3 up. Okay. So go right into that 3rd chain. And before I let you go on this segment, I want you to slip stitch to the chain 3 space. So just wrap the hook and go around the space and pull through. And now you're in the proper position to start the final round, number 3 of doing your squares. The final 3rd round is going to be exactly the same, but we have bigger squares to deal with, but we have to put in stuff in the middle. So we're going to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a double crochet and a chain 3 space again. In the same corner, place in 3 double crochet. Now the corner is further away, so we're not ready for that yet. So we're going to chain 1 to jump, and we're going to place in 3 double crochets into this chain 1 space. Okay, so now we're ready for a corner, so we have to chain 1 before we do it to jump over and do your corner. 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. So this yarn is intended to look like watercolors if you haven't figured that out yet. So chain 1 to jump and go to the middle space, 3 double crochet only. Chain 1 and then come on into the corner, 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. Okay, chain 1 to jump and do your next middle, 3 double crochet only. Ready for another corner, so chain 1 before you start it, and 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. Okay, we're on our final side now, so chain 1 to jump, and the colors are really changing as you see, and it's 3 double crochet into the chain 1 space in between. And we're coming up to our final corner, so we're going to chain 1 to jump it. The first double crochet is already there, so the first chain 3 of the 6 is the first double crochet, so you're only going to place in 2 double crochet here. And you were officially going to then attach it to the 3rd chain up. Okay, and so you can fasten this off. Do you see this open space? I'm going to show you a little thing that I would do because it bothers me, but I'm going to weave in this here like I showed you before, but I'm going to show you a little technique here that will pull things together if that bothers you, because it does for me. So I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that. take the loose end that you have that you started with, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to loop it and pull it back. So it's coming right from here. I'm going to pull it so it kind of pulls it into that. And I'm going to go back through, but when I go back through, I'm going to go through all of it. Okay, this was attached with a slip knot, so it won't come out. So when you turn it back to the other side, what my goal is to make sure that this looks like it belongs. So the slip knots can be a little bit bulky, so I'm just moving the yarn over the slip knots and kind of adjusting it that way. And then when I'm sewing it here, I want to make sure that I'm capturing it to keep it together. Again, don't go between plies. Sorry, don't go between strands, go between the plies. It will really get stuck and pretty much impossible to pull out, so it's a one-time deal. I don't like to waste this yarn, so I keep the tails relatively short. Okay, and now on this side then, it pulls it shut and it looks like the other sides. And so I will weave in this end like this, and I will be back, and we're going to make sure you do 9 of these, and let's go over the instructions and see where we are going to be. In my case, I have to do a few more off camera. So I have to officially get 9 of these done. They will not be sewn together. The first row that's going to pass is going to connect them. If you're not sure what side is the right side, see how it's kind of bowling up like this? This is the right side when it bowls up like this. If it's trying to bowl away from you, it's the wrong side. So if that helps you to understand what that is, what you can do if you do not see what this is, when you come back to it later, just grab a spare piece of yarn and just loop it around the right side of the work. It's very possible, and I've seen this more times than I can count, is that people will start putting squares together and they will realize it's too late when a square is upside down in the project. So whenever you see the stitch marker, it's the right side, and when you don't see it, it's the wrong side. And you can see the stitch working looks slightly different as well, and you can remove that. So get all 9 of these done, or whatever that you have. And then what they did in strategy is that the next one, we were going to a purple, so the next one's going to be a different color, and it can line up in any way that you want to. I'll be back in a few seconds from now, but I got some homework to do in the meantime. So I'm only doing 3 that I need to do in order to show you the repeating to make it happen. So I was crocheting, and I did this one first, and then this one, and then this one. And I did not change the yarn ball, but you can see progression happen. So in my case, what I might want to do is then take a look at all of the 9 colors and maybe strategize it to be in an order that makes sense visually, and you can decide that for yourself. So we want to make sure that the right sides are facing up, and we're now going to begin to the next step of attaching these together and starting the really fun part. So these squares are very low commitment for time, and now we're ready for the fun part of the blanket. So what we're going to be doing is that we're going to get ourselves started using a solid kind of attaching as we have going on here, and we're just going to work our way across. You can see that there's 3 here, but it's just a repetitive pattern as you're going up over top of the squares. You just got to make sure your first and last square is handled in the unique way that we'll be talking about on camera today. So we're going to begin and make sure the right sides are facing up, and we're going to begin right here and we're working our way across. So let's begin. So choose the first square that you want to work with and then kind of work your way across. So in the first crossing, we don't have to worry about putting stitches together. We just have to go up and over and attach up and over. And when I say attach, it just means that we jump from one square to the other. So we're going to start with the white color, and the white color will be the first 3 rows. And you're going to choose any color one that you want, and you're going to choose any corner. So we're going to attach it like that, chain 1, and single crochet into the same corner. You don't have to count the stitches, but what I would do is just to make sure you're watching where the stitches are. So we see that there's 3 double crochets, there's a chain 1 space, so we are just going to put in 1 single crochet in either a double crochet or a chain 1 space. Okay, so starting in the first double crochet now, and just working our way up towards the point. And I'm saying up because we're kind of on the decline right now. So if you looked at it from this perspective, it's a decline, it's going that way, it's up. Go right into your space. Don't worry about just grabbing the chain and then just continuing to go. Okay, go right into your space. Okay, so this would be the top of the point. Okay, and then you were just going to single crochet, chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, oops, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet back into the same one. So we're now going to go down this slope. So starting in your first double crochet, work your way down right to the last chain, corner space. So keep using those double crochets and those chain 1 spaces. And go right into your corner space with a single crochet. So this square is done. So you're just going to jump to your next one, whatever you decided, and start in the corner and just single crochet around the corner. Make sure the right sides are facing up towards you. So once you have the first one single crocheted, you're going to work your way up again to the next point. So this row here, especially at the starting of your blanket, here is going to be so critical that those squares are turned in the right direction, in the sense that the right side is facing up towards you. So you're just placing single crochets in each stitch and chain 1 spaces till you get to the top. And here you're going to single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet. And then come on down the other side. I think this is a perfect TV project, by the way. It's not too, you don't have to really count a lot. And once you get to this corner, you've already gone up and down. So you're single crochet in the last one and then grab your next square. And you're gonna do this all the way across. And what I'm gonna do is once you connect, so just single crochet around this one and then going up and then back down, and you keep going across, and I'll show you what it will look like on the other side when you have all of your squares connected and you're ready for the end of the row. And I'll be right back in a moment. When you've figured out that you've gone all the way across and you're on your last square going down, you were going to single crochet right into the final chain 3 space to finish. Okay, so you've gone up and over, and I'm going to give you a tip after these 3 rows are complete. So this is row number 1 of 3, and we're going to turn our work, so flip the whole thing upside down and begin the second row. To begin the row right on the edge, you're going to chain 1, and you're going to do what is called as a single crochet 2 together using the first 2 stitches. So you're just going to go into the stitch, the first one where the chain is coming out of, in, yarn over, pull through, go into your next stitch, in, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through all 3 loops. That's a 2 together single crochet. So what we have to just do now is just work our way to the top. So 1 single crochet in each single crochet until you get to the corner of the top of the square. You don't need to count, you just got to do. The instructions are really long in written format, so it really becomes something that it looks really hard to do, but it's actually pretty simple. So you're going to go into the last stitch before the corner. In the chain 2 corner, you are going to place in 1 single crochet, chain 2, and 1 single crochet, and then come on down. So what we're going to do as we come on down, we have to make sure that the squares are not rotated the wrong way. So we got to make sure we're still looking at the wrong side of this. So make sure that there's no squares that are twisted. It's easy to kind of see that it's twisted because of the following it. So just make sure it stays balanced. So we're going to single crochet ourselves all the way down, almost close to the valley, so the bottom part, and the last 2 stitches before we jump off of the square need to be a single crochet 2 together. So I want you to watch for that. Okay, so we have this stitch and this stitch. Those are the last 2 before it jumps over. You can see that. So I have 1 more to do. And so this stitch and the final stitch is going to be a 2 together single crochet. So going in, pulling through, yarning over, and then into the next one, yarn over, pull through 3 loops. Now as you start the next square, you're just going to put the next 2 together. So going into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, next stitch, yarn over, pull through 3 loops, and then go on up, so you don't have to count again. Just blaze your way across, pay attention to the TV, and let's go up and over and back down. So how are you going to handle those points at the top? What is the stitch counts? Okay, the cat even knows the answer. It's 1. So in the chain 2 spaces, it's 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet. And so you're going to blaze on down. The final 2 stitches of this square are going to be single crochet together. The first 2 stitches of this one are 2 together, and you keep going up and down all the way to the end. And I'll see you at the end of the row in a moment. As you're coming all the way across, the final 2 stitches, I'm just going to pull this a little tighter, okay, is going to be a single crochet 2 together. So that one, and then the first one. And so row number 2 is done. You're going to flip the work, and we're going to do row number 3. And I still have some advice to give to you, but I will wait so I don't overflow you now. Let's begin row number 3. Row number 3 is exactly the same as row number 2. So the first 2 stitches are going to come together. So chain up 1, place the first 2 together with a single crochet 2 together. Don't bother to count, just place in 1 single crochet all the way up to the peak. So do we remember what the peak is for stitch counts? It's the chain 2 space. It's 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet in the peak. So in the peak, 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet. It's a nice firm turn. So we're going to come on down in the last 2 stitches before it jumps over. Okay, you see the jump is right here. These are the last, so this is the last one of this stitch. This is the first one of this stitch. So the last one of this stitch plus the one before is going to be becoming a single crochet 2 together. And then the first one and the second one here of this one is going to be becoming a single crochet 2 together. So let's get ourselves there first. Separating the firework with the white is really sharp. I would have considered actually doing this also with the Red Heart, Super Saver, Bitty Stripes, and Moonbeam. It does change tinge, but it's not crazy enough to take away from the look. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for the final 2, 1, 2. So put the final 2 together before we jump over to the next square. And then get the first 2 of this one, that's part of the jump. Single crochet 2 together, and then just blaze on up. Okay, so then you'll do your points the same way, and you'll keep bouncing up and down and handling your single crochet 2 togethers between the squares, and I'll see you close to the end of the row in a moment. As you're coming all the way across, the very final 2, 1 and 2, are a single crochet 2 together. And this is it for this color. So the first 3 rounds, or first 3 rows are this color, and when you're looking at it from this point of view, you're seeing that the angle is heading vertical up, which is what we need. So we're going to get rid of this color. Now, it doesn't say to do this in the pattern. This is my own experience, but I like to see progression and see how things are going to work out. So what I'm going to do is that I know that the next coming across is going to be the other fun color. I'm going to turn this thing upside down and start then this side at the same time. And what I'm going to do is that as the colors are being changed, so if I have a few rows of this fun color, when it changes back to white, I will come back and do the other side. So I'm going to start the other side now. I'll just get yourself started as exactly what you know, rows number 1, 2, and 3, and let's begin to do that process. So to start the other process, just turning it over. Okay, so when I say turn over, just around, right side is facing up. Start in the first corner that's on the edge, attach it, chain 1, and place a single crochet. You don't have to worry about the squares flipping upside down because what you've already done is holding. So you're just going to blaze up and down like you did in rows number 1, 2, and 3. So in the first row, we don't have any single crochet 2 togethers. We're just going across. And then in your upper peaks, it's single crochet, chain 2, a single crochet, and when you come on down, the last stitch is in this chain 3 space of the corner. You're jumping over chain single crochet into this chain 3 space, and then keep going up and down. If you need to go through that again, just use the video chapters in the video description or pinned comment, and you can go back to rows number 1, 2, and 3 here on starting this area up there. So please get these 3 rows done, and I'll be right back in a moment. So rows 1, 2, and 3 are now done on the other side. So I'm going to flip it back, so just kind of rotate it back around. You should know that rows number 2 and 3 are part of the repeat pattern. So you'll see in the instructions, rows number 2 through 9 is a repeat that you'll be doing sequentially over and over. So rows 2 and 3 of this is going to be part of the repeat. So we're going to begin, and before we begin, we're going to then flip to the wrong side. So I've turned it over, and see where we ended. So we're going to start where we ended. So it has to be row number 4 starting on the wrong side, and we're going to be picking up the other color and start working our way up and establishing ourselves for the granny stitch itself. Let's begin to do that next. In the diagram, when we go to do this, we have the edge, and so there will be something fun on the edge. Okay, just the 3 double crochets that are in the same stitch, but there's going to be 2 standalone groups of 3 double crochets up on a valley, or up on the side of a ridge, or a side of a hill, I suppose. The tops here will be 3 single crochet, chain 2, 3 single crochet, and then coming down there's going to be 2 standalone groups of 3 double crochets each, and then here in the base we're just placing it like that. So just remember that it's kind of like 2 between the tops and the bottoms, and that's going to be happening throughout. So on the pattern here, we're actually picking up right here and working our way across. So you're going to notice is that 5, 6, 7, and 8 are the same rows. So that's why they've got those grouped together. Let's begin row number 4 on the wrong side of the work, and we're going to start. And we make sure that when we go to start, that we're going to then make sure we're second stitch in from the edge. Okay, the way that this is going to work out, it's going to jet out anyway. Let's begin. So looking at the wrong side of the work, I always leave the tails on the wrong side of the project when I'm changing them, and I kind of leave them for later just in case I ever get confused what is right side and wrong side. You can decide what works for you. Create a slip knot and put it onto your hook. And you were going to go second chain from the end. So this is, or sorry, second stitch from the end. So this is the first one on the end, this is the second. And you were going to attach it into the second one. Chain 3, that's your first double crochet, and in the same one that you did the attaching with, 2 more double crochet. We'll have to weave in this yarn tail later, but keep it on this side because we're looking at the wrong side of the work. We're now going to start going up the slope, and you want to chain 1 to jump like we were on the squares, and you're going to skip 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, go to the 4th stitch and place in 3 double crochet there. chain 1 to jump, skip the next 3. So 1, 2, 3, go to the 4th. 3 double crochet into the 4th stitch away, and then chain 1 to jump. Now we're going to skip the final 3 before you get to the corner, and in the corner is going to be 3 double crochet, chain only 2, and 3 double crochet in, all within the top of the peak. So when we look back, we have 1 at the base, which was the edge, and 2 standalones. It helps you to keep count, and then you have your peak. To jump, chain 1 and skip the next 3. So 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochet in the next one. So we're now going to go down the valley. Chain 1 to jump, skip the next 3, and in the 4th one away, 3 double crochet. Now we're going to do the very base. So we're going to skip the next 3, so 1, 2, 3, and in the 4th one, so make sure you chain 1 to jump it first. So the 4th one, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to notice is that there's one more stitch that's still in this valley. We just ignore it. Okay, so you're just skipping 3 and going into the 4th for 3 double crochet. And now you're going to technically skip 2 stitches, so 1 and 2. So you're skipping the first one that is on this one still. You skip the first one that's going up the hill, and it's the second one over. So you're skipping 3 stitches technically, and placing in 3 double crochet there. So now we're going up the other side. Noticing that we did not chain 1 in between these. We only chain 1 to jump when we're doing these ones. So chain 1 to jump, skip the next 3. So 1, 2, 3, go to the 4th, and 3 double crochet there. So how many standalones are on the side of the slope? Did you say 2? So chain 1 to jump, skip the next 3. So 1, 2, 3, double crochet in the next. So the rest of the remaining of this section of the blanket is going to be very easy because you've now established the granny square concept. So chain 1 to jump, skip the final 3 before the chain 2 space at the top. And it's going to be 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So how many stitches do you need to jump when you're going down the valley? So you're going to chain 1 before you start the jump, skip 3. So 1, 2, 3, go to the 4th, 4 double crochet. Chain 1 to jump, skip the next 3. So 1, 2, 3, go to the 4th, and 3 double crochet in that one. Chain 1 to jump, and this is the final one of this square going down. So you're going to skip 3, so 1, 2, 3, go to the 4th, and it's the second last one before this square finishes. And you don't chain 1 to jump, skip technically 2 stitches, 1, 2, and it's the second one going up on the next square. So 3 double crochet there. So what I need you to do is go up and down, and I'll meet you at the very end where we'll figure out how to finish, and I'll be right back in a moment. In making your way across, you'll eventually come to your final square, and you're just going down the slope as you know it. Chain 1 to jump, skip the next 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to go into the second last one before the end, which means the counts are proper. And if it's not, honestly, you can fudge stuff at this point if you have to, but try to keep it as accurate as possible. So we're just going to flip this nail back to the right side of the work and start row number 5, doing the granny work, then all the way through to row number 8. Rows number 5, 6, 7, and 8 are all the same, and right where we're sitting is the wrong stitch. So what we have to do is we have to start slip stitching ourselves back to this chain 1 space. So we just come into the top of the first one, so slip, come to the next one, slip, come to the next one, slip, and go right into the chain 1 space and slip. And this is where you're going to start rows number 5, 6, 7, and 8. Chain 3 right where you're sitting. Okay, and this is going to leave a jagged edge, which we will deal with later. And you're going to place in 2 more double crochet there. So now you're going to handle with everything that you just learned, but without having to count your stitches like this, because it's just a granny stitch. So you're going to chain 1 to jump, and in the next space, 3 double crochet. So the only spaces you're paying attention to is the very bottoms of the valleys and the very tops of the peaks. Chain 1 to jump, come into your next space, 3 double crochet. Chain 1 to jump. In the top peak, it's the same thing that you already have here. So it's 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So come on down, so chain 1 to jump and start working your way down and just filling in those spaces. This is what makes a project like this pretty fast. Chain 1 to jump, and you're paying attention to the last 2 that are in the valley because you're going to use the space on this side and the space on that side and ignore what is in the middle. So continue to fill in those spaces with 3 double crochets. Chain 1 to jump, and this is the last space before it starts going up on the other side. So it's going to be 3 double crochet there first. And when you're in the bottom spaces like this, do not chain 1 to jump, just jump. Right to there. Okay, so you're skipping these 2 groups and double crocheting 3 times in that one, and that will sync it all together and hold it together. Like that. So now we're working our way up, so we are going to chain 1 to jump, 3 double crochet, chain 1 to jump, 3 double crochet, chain 1 to jump, and in the peak, you already know what to do. It's 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So what I need you to do is go all the way up and down, just like I showed you, all the way to the end. I'll see you at the end, and then I'm going to do the next rows on my own, and you can repeat row number 5 over and over and over until you get to the end of row number 8, and I will pick you up at the end of this row here and just recap on where you need to be. I'm on my way down the final, so I got my peak in, I got my 2 that are standing alone. I'm going to chain 1 and then do my final one right here. So it's before this. And this ends then row number 5. So 6, 7, and 8 are exactly the same way. So you're just going to turn your work, and you're in the wrong spot when you do turn. And so you're going to slip stitch along the tops of your stitches. Okay, and right into the space then to start again. So chain 3 to begin, 2 double crochet in. So it's exactly what you just did. And then make sure you chain 1 to jump up and fill in those spaces, fill in your tops, and make sure you handle the bases exactly the way I showed you. Please do rows number 6, 7, and 8 on your own, and I'll pick you back up in just a few moments. I've just finished up to row number 8. So you can see that there's 5 of these rows, and we're going to switch and start doing the solid again. So row number 9 is the final row in order to do the repeating of this. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is just trim off my yarn, and I will get ready then for row number 9. and we'll be getting that done, and then we'll talk about the repeating for the remaining of the blanket, and I will be doing the border with you here. So let's turn our project around and start row number 9. Row number 9, so we're back to the white, and what we need to do is that we need to start in this space right here. I'm currently looking at the right side of the work, so an odd number in this particular blanket is the right side. Okay, and then slip stitch, chain 1, and single crochet in. So this is going to be very similar to how we did the very beginning when we started attaching these together. So we're just going to single crochet in every stitch in every space up along the side to the top. So I'm not counting stitches, I don't need to. Make sure you do fill in those spaces. And the tops of the peaks, do you know what it is? Do you remember from before? Yeah, it's single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Okay, so now you're just going to work your way down, and you're going to work your way to the final space before you're actually at the valley. So just starting, going down. Use every stitch in every space that you'll hit. And the very final one is going to be this space, which is the one before the valley hits. And just automatically just jump to the next space over here. So skip these 2 and single crochet that one, and then going back up to your peak. Your peaks are 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet, handle all your valleys just the way I just showed you, and I'll be back at the end of the row in a moment. So I'm coming to the other side. I'm going to go to the final space before the final group here and single crochet in. So this is the end of number 9. So rows number 2 through 9 is going to be this. So the next one we go to start will be the 2 rows here. There was 3, it'll be 2 rows of that, and then this whole section again, and we're going to go through the repeat. So when you go to start the next repeat, then rows number 2 through 9, you just turn your work, just chain 1, and you're going to single crochet the first 2 together, just like you did before, and you're going to single crochet yourself up, do your peak, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and the final 2 before, like it was before, are going to single crochet 2 together here, and then these first 2 going up this side is single crochet 2 together, and then just keep on going up and down in the same motion which you learned in row number 2. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you what a repeat is going to be, and we're going to be talking about that next. So our repeat is then repeat 2 through 9 twice more. And then you're going to then repeat 2 through 5 only once, and then that's going to take you to the end. And so you're repeating this on both sides of your blanket, of course. So I just did with you on camera rows number 2 through 5, or sorry, 2 through 9. And so I would have to repeat that then twice more, and then I'll have to repeat then rows number 2 through 5 only once. So what I'm going to do is I am going to show you the border. I'm going to repeat rows number 2 through 5 one more time so that I'm at the same spot that you will be in the future, but I have to do both sides of this in order to effectively show you the border. So I'm going to do that off camera, so do your repeating now, and I'll see you close to the end of it when you're ready to do your border. Okay, I'm back. So I've had lunch. Daniel and I eat lunch at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Supper is usually 8 or 9 o'clock. We're very late eaters, and it's probably because we don't have kids running around here needing to be fed. So once you do the repeat, you can actually see like 2 through 9 is actually really evident when you're looking at the sample here, and then the final was then 2 through 5, and then we're going to go all the way around with the white color that you have. When it's going to connect on the sides, it's actually really quite easy. We just got to pay attention to the ones that are having these single crochet rows. And again, that's really quite simple in the way that it's done. So congratulations to Yarnspirations for not making us jump through hoops for that. It's one round and then it's quits. And let's begin to show you how to do that next. To keep in sync with the pattern, we are going to go with right side up. That's what it states. Follow it right on up. It can be either side of this, so you can go the other side if you want to, but follow it right up from what you see from on camera. And you're just going to go right up, and you are going to go into this space after a corner. Okay, so right here. Sorry. So let's join it. And so up and down in the motion across is going to be exactly what you already know as we make our way across. So let's join here. And then chain 3 counts as your first double crochet, and then you are going to double crochet 2 more times to get yourself started. And you already know how to go up and down in the motion of the granny square concept. So it's chain 1 and then jump to the next space. 3 double crochet in, chain 1, double crochet in the next space, okay, chain 1, and then in the peaks it's 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So I'm just taking you through one up and one down as we go across. So now we're going to come down that valley. So chain 1 to jump and go into your next space, 3 double crochet first. Chain 1 to jump, 3 double crochet in the next. So this is no different really than what you have been doing, but we're going to be going all the way around instead of stopping at the end. So you've got to chain 1, jump to your last space before the valley, and put in your 3 double crochet in. So jump over those 2 which are part of the valley, and then just start with here. So don't chain 1 after that one because it's in the valley, and then start your 3 double crochets on this side. So I need you to go up and down until you get close to the end of this side. I'm going to show you how to turn, and then we're going to review on how to go down the side in order to keep the balance as good as it looks on the sample. So just keep on going, and I'll see you at the end of the row in a moment. So I'm coming to the end of the row. So normally we would have just turned and went back in the other direction, but we want to keep going all the way around. Once you have the last space filled in, chain 1, and in this top stitch right here, we want to do a turn. So in order to do the turn, we're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Have we done that before? Absolutely we have. So just right into the top of that first stitch there, chain 2. I don't know if you can hear the rooster. His name is Buddy. Buddy doesn't like me. It's gonna end up as dinner though one day. Okay, so once you get that turn that's happened, it's really simple to be able to follow this thing down. We're either using an end of one of the double crochet grannies here, or we're using the middle section of this. And I'm gonna show you what happens when it comes to the very middle of your blanket as well. So to continue now, you're going to chain 1 and just go around the chain 3 here, or the last post, whatever you want to call it, and just put in your 3 double crochets there, and that will hold it. Chain 1 after you do that. Now this here is the solid, so come into the middle row of the 3 and place in 3 double crochet there. So that'll keep the balance. Okay, chain 1. And now because you have all these grannies things to deal with, you're just gonna play with the ends of that. So go into the chain 3 or the post and place in your 3 double crochet. Okay, chain 1, come into your next one to the post. Okay, chain 1, come into your next one right here. I wouldn't have thought going down something like this would be really this easy, so I'm pleased that Yarnspirations designed it this way. So chain 1, come into the side of the post. Now we're used to doing grannies in a certain way that have a flat edge, but I would consider doing something like this in the future for the way that they've handled that. So chain 1, come into the side here, and then we're back into the solid rows again. So chain 1, you're going to come into the middle of the grouping of 3. See the 3? Come into the middle and place in your 3 double crochet. So we have 1, 2, and 3, and then chain 1. And then what you're going to do is you're going to use the same stitch. See this chain 3 here? You're going to use that and place in your 3. So it makes that square look finished. Sorry. Okay, now chain 1, and then do the middle one here with your 3 double crochet. Chain 1, and then you're going to use the ends of the chain 3 or the posts and put in 3 double crochet each. Okay, chain 1, and then keep doing that. So what I'm going to have you do is just go all the way now to the other side, and I'm going to see you at the turn to make sure you're turning, because the rest of this is just exactly what I showed you, and nice, easy, because of the way that the blanket has been designed from the center out. And I'll be back in a moment. When you finally get all the way across, you're chaining 1, and then this one here, go right into the stitch work to create the corner, and it's going to be 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3, and then chain 2 to turn to make the corner, and 3 more double crochet into that same spot. Okay, and then chain 1, and then start in your first space that you'll run into, and continue to do the ups and downs going all the way to the other side, and then handle going down the other side exactly the way that I showed you. And I'll be right back in a moment. So I'm coming back around, and you're just going to go all the way to what you already know, and chain 1. So the corner has to be completed and actually like all together, like right from scratch. So this is where we started. So we're just going to go on the top of this chain, 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet, and then chain 1 and slip stitch to the beginning, chain 3. So I actually cheat the system. I don't go all the way around when it's such a tutorial like this, because the sample I don't know what to do with. So we're going to then weave in your ends from what you already know, and therefore you have your blanket already completed. You have the ups and downs, and when you look at it from this perspective, it's actually pretty cool in the way that they designed the bitty stripes to do it, but in firework it'd be awesome as well. So you can see it just follows around, and etc. That's it for today. We hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and this is a pattern compliments of yarnspirations.com. Bye-bye.